Good morning, guys. This is an exciting day. We're going to be working on that machine right there, and it's kind of a, yeah, we're going to be adding some parts to it, swapping some parts out. It's kind of, I don't know if you'd call it high risk. Already heard a lot good about them, but Dad ordered concaves for the combine. I believe they're the Estes concaves is what they're called, and yeah, so we're going to be testing these out in the next couple years. So these concaves here, you don't have to swap them out. Normally we swapped for wheat. We had a set of concaves that we swapped out, and then we had different ones for when we did corn and beans. So that eliminates the switching these, or switching concaves from wheat to corn and beans, or corn and beans from wheat. Anyway, I'm gonna have to ask Dad on some of the more specifics of the concaves there, but that's what we're gonna be working with today. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how they're gonna work out. So before we get into the machine too much, or working in there, we're gonna try to get all the dust out. It can get pretty nasty when you're working under in there. Okay, so Dad's using that little tool there to try to get them loose. I'm not sure that's working. We might have to run home and grab the other impact, but we lowered the concaves all the way down, put a little piece of that poly stuff under in there to pad the augers and stuff that are underneath there. So we have to, yeah, loosen bolts there, and then on the other side we have to pull that pin out, pop that spacer out, and then pull that pin out. Then that's ready to fall down and slide over. So some of this stuff I'm going to show you before we do it, because it's kind of hard to be taking them all out and holding the camera at the same time. So yeah, there's 3 of those, and then there's 2 back there that we also are going to replace. I don't pop them loose. Okay, so Dad's just sliding it out there. Now that all these concaves are out here, you can see on the rotor that this big round cylinder here is the rotor, and that spins really fast. You can see those teeth, those edges there. That knocks all the grain out of the pods for wheat. Yeah, you get the idea. And then, yeah, falls down there through the concaves. Here in a bit I'll show you, kind of go through how it all works. Okay, so since we got this off, Dad was just looking over these teeth and stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the technical name is for them, but anyway, these things right here, and discovered that this one right here has a crack in it. You can see the crack goes up through there, and then it also, believe, comes down right there, and yeah, that's a little bit concerning, or because if that would bust off, yeah, and go back through there, that would not be good. And being said, we're not going to be taking concaves off and swapping them in between different crops, we want to make sure all of this is good. So we're looking around online, seeing what different prices are, and seeing, yeah, what we have to do to fix that and all that. So yep, so we'll see what we figure out here. Okay, so for those of you who might be interested, this is really intriguing to me, how a combine actually works. And this might be boring to some of you, but it's really intriguing to me. So we're just going to start the nose of the combine, and we're going to go through a little bit of what I know. Dad was telling me earlier everything works, and so yeah, I might not get everything right, but we'll go over it once. And yeah, being that we have everything opened up, so of course the head attaches to there, goes in there, goes up through there, and you can see kind of, anyway, goes up in there. So this brings us to part up here where the auger, that big hole in there, auger brings it back into the rotor. The rotor goes around like that, except it's a lot faster, of course. And those hammers, or whatever you call it, I'm not even sure, beat the grain out. And with the concaves in here, the kernels and stuff can fall down onto these augers there. See these little augers? And then the rest of the crop, like the stalk, keeps going back there. This grain falls down on those augers. The augers bring it back here, and all the while there's a fan. Right down there is a fan that is blowing air back up through here. So, and all of this is, yeah, kind of happening simultaneously. So the stalks keep going back there, and the grain that doesn't get thrashed out in this front portion goes back, continues its way back here, and then there's little fingers here at this angle. See those little fingers? That just flails it around and shakes the rest of the seeds out. Those also can fall down through here, and this pan right here is just shaking. Kind of shakes on an angle, and it shakes it back down. It falls down there. In the bottom of the whole works, there's an auger that takes the grain over to another auger, which then takes it up. But anyway, this is shakes it down here. The fan blows the chaff out the back, and then come around the back. I can show you a little angle here. Pretty much the rest of the stalk and stuff comes back here, and if there's still any kernels in there, that there will beat them out. That thingy up there rotates, and then yeah, comes out the back here. And yeah, right here are your grain loss sensors right here. There's one on each side. That'll tell you up in the cab if there's any grain coming out the back. Yeah, it's out the back here and comes blasting out through here. That's obviously yeah, folded down when you're combining, or when you're combining corn and beans. When we do wheat, we usually just comes right out there. So yeah, unless we're chopping it. But here the choppers then those spin really fast and chop everything up. So that's kind of the, yeah, roughly going over it. Yeah, I don't near know everything about how everything works, but yeah, I think kind of get the idea. So I've already heard of where people have said that you have to, or you can't open that up right there. And yeah, the switch, there's a switch, it's right here, that will lower it and or open it up and close it and such like. So yeah, it's actually really slick. So I'm trying to figure out here over the directions on what they recommend for how to do the whole works here. So we're studying a bit. So here we have the old concaves and the old grates. Here is a newer, or the Estes XPR2 concave. So these are you can kind of tell they're starting to wear down pretty good. You can see those are just round bars. Yeah, those are the factory ones, Deere factory ones. And just looking at the differences here a little bit, so these, instead of having a totally round bar, it has like a groove in there. You can tell, just kind of like a little groove there with the, and I guess, yeah, they're supposed to be better. It's not really that we had any big issues with these. We got a really great grain sample with those as well, but they were starting to wear down, and yeah, heard some good stuff about these. So yeah, we're gonna try them, I guess, and see yeah, how we like them. And this the grate on the back side, you can remove that. They send that with if you want to put them on, and yeah, that would be just pretty much to keep the grain up there by the rotor for a little longer. But I think they said that's not necessarily a need, but we'll see. Yeah, that's removable. That's just on the very front concave, and then the two behind that didn't come with that. So yeah, here's how the back of those look, just big round bars, and then yeah, this is where the threshing happens. So yeah, that's pretty much the differences there. That first. Okay. What to tell you? Well, for now. Alright, so we got the two new grates in there. That was a job, but we got it in there. Had to, yeah, the bolts hadn't been lining up, but it went in good. So anyway, we got those in, and so now Dad's gonna run to Ag Pro and grab a set of those. If just one in a row is messed up, then you have to replace the whole row so it doesn't throw the rotor off balance. So Dad's putting the new feeders on there. I don't even know what you call them, Dad. What do you call them?
What is the technical name?
Flails?
Rifle?
Threshing elements. Well, I don't know if that's what
yeah,
it's
they're
called.
the rifle threshing elements that go on the bullet rotor.
Yeah.
So that's our rifling for the bullet.
There we go. So, which actually makes sense because they're angled back a little bit, and they're, yeah, you can see how they are, but hopefully that fixes the problem. And so right here you can see now a little better. The crack starts right there, goes all the way up into here, and yeah, there's a hairline crack that comes down here. Just, yeah, just little stuff like that yeah, can make the difference of having a good day go really, really bad, or yeah, good thing that Dad caught that there, because imagine having a piece like that coming back through here, and yeah, it would just be a mess. So just like to try to keep our eyes open for stuff like that. So the 3 of them replaced there. And did you want to push it this way a little bit? You want to push it this way a little bit? Yep, there we go.
Got it?
Nope.
Push it up.
Yep, there we go.
Got it?
The one is in anyway. Yep, that should be good.
Let the snap in there.
Yep, got it. We got them all in now. Yeah, pretty much all we have to do is level the concave yet, and yeah, I don't think we're going to get to that this evening. So yeah, glad that's done. Hopefully we don't have to do that for a while. Okay, so this side fastened. We just had to pop those little picks out, put the little spacer in there, and then the little pin. So then over here, Dad's just putting the Z-track on right there, and you have to jack it up. So we're out here checking the beans a little bit. Yeah, they're pretty good sized. We're getting enough of moisture, not excessive moisture. Just, let's see, 2 days ago we got a nice shower, and but yeah, they're not too wet. Definitely, they're a little on the dry side actually, but so far they look pretty healthy. We've been blessed with enough rain. I think there's going to be some rain coming the next couple of days or so, but yeah. So as humans, we all face this imminent reality, and that at the end of our lives, we are all going to face death at some point. And death can be kind of a scary topic, because after death, we don't really, I mean, it's unknown. We've obviously never experienced it before, and yeah, it's just it can be scary at times. And the other day, I was reading through the Bible. I found in Hebrews 2, where it says that Jesus, being that his children are humans, he became a human so he could die, so he could conquer the devil, which has the power of death. And so now that he died, and then we know the story, he rose again 3 days later, and he conquered death in that way. He rose from the dead. And now, if we're a follower of Christ, we don't have to fear death. Because like we have this hope that after death we can experience eternal life with Jesus, and in heaven. And yeah, that was encouraging to me. And yeah, so if you haven't yet, yeah, you've heard me talk about it before, but it's so important. And not just because I say it, not because there's other people that say it, but it's because Jesus wants every one of us to make that choice to follow after him, and to give our lives wholly over to him, forsake our sin, and to live for him, because there is no more fulfilling way of life than living for Christ. And I just want to encourage you, if you haven't done so yet, give your life to Christ, because on the other hand, if we reject Jesus and his love for us, he humbled himself, he allowed himself to be crucified on the cross for us, and not accepting that gift, it's just so sad, because yeah, Jesus is giving this to us. All we have to do is accept it. If we're just rejecting him, it's just so awful just to reject that gift. See, if you get your kids a Christmas gift or something, and you think it's just what they need, and you give it to them, and they just look at it and they're like, no, that's not what I want, and then they just throw it into the trash. Like just imagine how that makes you feel as a parent, and even so much more is the seriousness of that, as like if we reject Jesus' gift of salvation to us. And also the reality is, we don't like to talk about it, but for those who don't follow Christ, there's a sad reality of hell after death, and that's more horrible than we can even comprehend. Like, it's unimaginable how horrible that is, but it's a reality that we have to be aware of, and that's the cost of not following Christ. But Jesus doesn't force anyone to follow him, but he does want each one of us to make that choice to follow him, and to give our lives over to him, live for him, and glorify him. And so that's the encouragement I want to leave with you guys this week. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate each one of you following along here on the channel. And so yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.